It's been about a month since Twitter rebranded to X.
Elon Musk overnight has decided to change the name of the company to X.
Twitter to an X. To X. 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 X.
Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably wondering, will we ever stop saying Twitter and start saying X? The brand awareness of tweeting and retweeting extends beyond just the users of the platform. You don't have to be on Twitter to know what a tweet or a retweet is, and just about everyone recognizes that iconic light blue bird logo. Just think about it yourself. What other brand that has become a part of day-to-day lingo has actually tried to change the lingo on us? Facebook rebranded to Meta, but this was more of a corporate rebrand, and the actual platforms that Facebook owns, like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, all the terminology, all the lingo regarding those platforms is still the same. We still say, I'm gonna post this on my story, or I'm gonna post a reel. Google rebranded to Alphabet, but that was also just a corporate restructuring. Everyone still says Google it. But what if we go back in history and look at non-tech examples? Peter's Super Submarines became Subway. Apple Computer became Apple. Blue Ribbon Sports became Nike. Anderson Consulting became Accenture. These are just a couple examples, but the point is that there have been a lot of examples in history of companies changing their names. But the problem with these examples, and most of the examples of name changes in general, is two things. Number one, usually it's for a good reason. Nike, Apple, Subway all made the name shorter and easier to understand. Anderson Consulting changed to Accenture for legal reasons. And number two, none of these examples really tried to change the day-to-day lingo of people. Twitter was familiar. People had experiences with the platform all over the world for years and years. I remember when we were in high school, if someone would say something really dope, instead of saying, wow, that was really deep, or that was really dope, we just say retweet. These terms just became a part of popular culture. X, on the other hand, is completely new to us. Now, I'm not here to argue that changing the name from Twitter to X was a good idea. I think pretty much everyone is aligned that taking a brand with as much awareness, recognition, and equity as Twitter and changing it to a different name all in one go is crazy. There is one reason why this is different and why this will work. And that is that X is not a publicly traded company. Elon Musk is not the CEO, he's the owner of the company. If Twitter or X was still a publicly traded company, I'm sure the stock would have seen a nosedive and there would have been a lot of pressure on the CEO to change the decision and revert the name back to Twitter. But since Elon Musk owns this business, he can do what he wants with it. Now, X catching on will take time. Now, if you know someone that has changed their name, you know in the beginning it can be a little bit weird depending on how close you are with them. The closer you are, the harder it is for you to train your mind to start saying the new name. Because you have so many experiences with that person, with that face, with that name. You've associated these things together over time and you kind of reinforce these connections that you have with that name, with that face, with that person. Same thing will happen with X. In our video where we talked about the launch of BMW's Beavertooth Grill, we talked about the mere exposure effect in psychology. Basically what this means is the more you're exposed to something that you may initially dislike or reject, the more you become familiar and you start liking that thing. Think about a horror movie. If you're watching a horror movie and they keep showing the big scary monster, by the end of the movie, you're not even scared of the monster, you're used to it. Whereas the monsters where they kind of hold the suspense and you don't really see, except for little glimpses, those are the ones that are really scary. It's clear that Elon Musk has much bigger aspirations for X than just microblogging. He wants to bring video, he has monetization that he just introduced, and he has bigger plans. So the associations that we have with X in 10 years over these numerous touch points that we will continue to have are going to be different than the associations and the thoughts and feelings and emotions we had with Twitter. And that brings me to my prediction. Just like the Hummer, Coca-Cola Classic, the Bronco, Toyota Supra, I believe in 10 to 20 years, once X has its own brand built up and people have really forgotten about Twitter, Elon Musk will bring back a version of Twitter. And when that happens, it'll break the internet. Thank you so much for watching. If you thought Elon Musk changing the name from Twitter to X was a weird business move, you will not believe some of the things that Ferrari does. Check out this video right here on why Ferrari actually sues its own customers.